John here with BGIM. Welcome to your Tuesday Blues. Today we're going to talk about a super cool topic. We're talking about Delta blues, and we're going to cover how to get that sound that you just heard. I'll walk you through the licks as well as some of the techniques that have to go along with it. Before we get into the lesson, if you're not already subscribed to BGI's YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that red button and show support for these free lessons that come out every single Tuesday. And now let's get on with it. All right, before we break down the licks, you got to know the tuning, and this is in E standard. There's a lot of Delta blues in open tunings. They sound super cool, and they definitely give way to playing some cool bottleneck slide, but they're examples of tunes, really good tunes, played in an E standard guitar. I think Charlie Patton's Pony Blues was tuned to standard tuning. I think it may have been capoed or even tuned a half step up, but the relationship of the pitches are the same. So you can get by, you can certainly play some cool Delta blues with a standard tuned guitar. All right, so let's take a look at that first part here. We're starting out on the and of one and sliding up here into this position. And you can think of this as coming from the top of an E7 chord. We're just dropping down, making it nice and convenient, and playing just these two tones that we need. But it's nice to know that this is really rooted in E7. On the and of one, we slide up from 7 to 9. And then on 2, we hit the B note, first string, 7th fret, and then back to the 9th fret, that G sharp note, and just kind of roll back through those same two tones. Then that cool part we put down on the C sharp on the first string, then come back to the B before dropping back down to the G. Instead of this G sharp, we drop down to the G, the minor third, and then you push up and do a little blues bend on that. Just put a little cry, push that thing slightly sharp before hitting the open first string. All right. And then we're going to do another lick right on the heels of that, but with a little bit slower picking in the beginning. Still kind of the same idea, but we are dropping down and utilizing that minor third G more so than the major third G sharp here. All right, did you hear how we didn't have quite as quick of a picking going on with the picking hand here? Just back and forth between those two tones on top. And here, this is where it's a little different. We're going to pluck these two at the same time and bend both up with a blues bend. So just pushing them up and slightly sharp. And then when you do that, I tend to come back and mute out the strings at the top of one of those blues bends. Make it really short, because otherwise, it just kind of feels really sharp and can kind of hang out there and sound out of tune. So I like to choke it out at the top of the bend, make it kind of quick, and it adds a little bit of an expressive element to it as well before coming back and just plucking those top two strings open. So hand off the fretboard, you're actually going to use that time and that musical space to move down and do this little hammer on as you're kind of getting yourself into an E major chord. So that's a hammer on from the G to G sharp, and then down on the E note here, 4th string. All right, from here we're going to move into a cool descending line that is very Delta blues sounding. So we get that open E ringing, let it ring, brush up on the top two strings, and they're open, and then we do this move. So that's up to the D, and then down to the 4th fret, and then here on the 2nd fret before coming back to a G sharp on the 6th string. And we do put a little bit of that blues bend. This time you kind of pull down toward the floor to get that note to pull sharp before going back to an open E. And then you'll want to jump into an E major here and do some brush ups. That Stone Pony, that song, there's a lot of, or Pony Blues rather, you hear a lot of that 3 times strumming up, like a little brush up with the chord happening here, and it's just so cool, and it gives some nice resolve to what we've been doing. And I'll finish it up, just finish out that measure with a bass and a couple more. Alright, no doubt some of these licks can be a little bit challenging, so if you're looking for a place to start with the blues, check out the Acoustic Blues Jumpstart. It's a 3-pack of free lessons I've got for you, and we really build out the 12-bar blues framework for the blues. It's a great starting point, will help you build a great foundation. And now, one thing before I take off, definitely check out Charlie Patton. I've been listening to a lot of his stuff lately, and Pony Blues has just grabbed me right by the soul, man. It's a great tune, and it really, to me, just gets at that honest, raw sound that we think of when we think of Delta Blues. Alright, that's it for this breakdown of a few licks that have got that Delta Blues sound. I hope you can use them, hope you can put them into your playing, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you feel like it, if you're into that sort of thing, and definitely feel free to leave a comment. I'm down in the comments having a fun chat, talking about blues all the time. Till next Tuesday, practice up and play on.